Gunner with Who You With Kirk though.
Welcome to the show. Let's get this party started.
I'm out.
Hopefully, y'all had a great day today.
I'm out.
It wouldn't be allegedly because he was charged.
Welcome to speak. I'm out. Welcome to speak. I'm out.
Why, those must be some good wings.
I'm out. Who You With Kirk dog.
Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk Dog. I'm M. Who You With Kirk Dog. Want to welcome everybody on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter. You know D Live is in the house. Y'all know what night it is. It's Thursday night. My Garrett's in the house with me as she always come back. My sidekick, Miss Risky. How you doing today?
It's been a day.
Yes,
Almost had to consult my boss's boss today.
Hey, don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud because you know we have.
Listen, he ain't about his life.
Oh, okay. But there you go. He ain't about that life. Hopefully, y'all had a great day, a great week. How was your week this week?
Just busy, kind of slow, and then it got exciting today. My boss's boss, like I said, we call him Little Man, because he waited to the last minute, like after hours, to request a manual check. It's like, first off, regardless of our schedule, yeah, we can work late and try to get it out, but funding's in India. We don't know what their schedule is, so we could be sending out a check and it's just paper. So he just needs to understand there are deadlines for certain things. So yeah, I had to set him straight.
You are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk Dog. I'm M. Who You With Kirk Dog. Miss Risky is in the house. Y'all can live chat with us in the chat room also. And you know Miss History. Miss History.
Miss History. That my new
Well,
name.
because you always bring the right history. You always bring something. I told the people you working on some stuff. It's gonna take a couple of weeks before you expose it. So, and
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good one. Not a
yeah, because
good
I want
one.
to do it the right way, you know, and so that it won't be too off-putting, but it's just something that I think every culture has, and I'm gonna bring shed some light on it.
Well, that's good. Well, go ahead and let's do your history. I'm ready for it.
All right, today we're going to be talking about Sarah E. Goode. She was born into slavery in 1850. She was one of the first African women to be granted a patent by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for her invention of the folding cabinet bed in 1885. She was born in Toledo, Ohio, as Sarah Elizabeth Jacobs. The same year the Fugitive Slave Act was enacted. Goode was the second of 7 children. Her parents were Oliver and Harriet Jacobs, both described as in the public records as mulattoes. Uh, Oliver was a carpenter, which is where they're assuming she got her skills from. At the end of the Civil War, she was granted freedom. Um, the family eventually moved to Chicago, Illinois, where she would eventually meet uh, Archibald Goode, who was originally from Wise County, Virginia in 1870. Archie was also a carpenter, and it is believed, but not confirmed, that they opened a furniture store together. Around that time, tenement housing was at its peak. And these were homes like you usually think of them from New York, these little uh, one bed, well, not even a bedroom, just these like
Shotgun.
studio apartments, or what do you call it? Is it a studio apartment where it's just open?
The
And
shotgun home.
I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that term. But
We'll
it's
talk
just
about shotgun home in a minute.
all right. But these homes were typically single rooms rented to individuals and families, about 25 to 100 feet in square feet. for each unit. Customers that visited her store or their store were concerned for maximizing their small spaces, which gave Sarah an idea. She designed a folding bed, which, when not in use, would become a functional roll-up cabinet that included space for writing utensils and stationery. The bed was engineered in such a way that it could be lifted up and folded in without breaking, and a novel feat at the time, because she just thought of like she used counterweights and things like that to make sure it stayed in a place. Um, Goode's invention, by the time she received her patent, preceded the more universally known Murphy bed by 25 years. This innovative invention made it a precursor for major furniture items in the industry today, like the futon, flat pack furniture, and more. She died in 1905. In 2012, the Sarah E. Goode STEM Academy, formerly known as Southwest Area High School Project, a science and math focused high school, was opened in her honor on the south side of Chicago. It's part of Chicago's public schools urban model high school, partnered with IBM, and students who are encouraged to graduate with industry certifications and 2 years of college credit. The students also get professional mentors and internships. And IBM, like with my other stories, they've been involved with a lot of these early inventions that we talked about. But yeah, she was ahead of her time. She was like, you know what? Let's maximize some space here. You know, so yes.
Yeah, she did a great job because and the Murphy beds, I have seen them trying to make a comeback because what's going on now, a lot of new companies are coming out with new designs of them where you can have these king size beds, and once you get out of them, you just raise them up. It just clear everything. So I'm like, hey, a sister, Black Girl Magic, did that back in the 1800s. That's what I'm talking about. Um, Now, as for a shotgun house, which it sounds like what she did, a shotgun house is a narrow rectangular domestic resident, usually no more than about 12 feet wide, with rooms arranged one behind the other and doors at each end of the house. Basically, you can look through the front door and you can see straight out the back door
Mhm.
with the doors open. That's a
Yeah.
shotgun house.
Okay. Because I know the tenement houses that they had in Chicago and New York at the time were pretty much tall, project-looking homes. They were multi-level, and they shared a bathroom on each floor. So you had like efficiency apartments. That's what I was thinking of. Efficiency, where like you had all your stuff, but it's one room.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of feedback. I don't know if you hear it or not, but I'm getting a lot of feedback. Um, they say a shotgun house was basically named the shotgun house because you can shoot a bullet from the front door to the back door.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Look at that. The more you know.
exactly. I'm glad you always bringing this history on because that's some good history. And then on top of that, um, Sarah Good also, she had more patent than anybody during that time, which was during that time. It's a lot of stuff that was done, and I like that. And she died in 1905. Mm, yeah, that's some good history, Miss Risky. I sure appreciate you for always bringing it on. Um, Hopefully y'all can hear me okay, because I'm trying to cut back on this feedback. I think I have it under control. I don't know for sure. So let me know if y'all can hear me good or not. We're trying a new chat system instead of having them come up on the side and I display them, kind of like with TCal. Hey y'all, happy Thursday. So now as you chat with us, it will come up on the stream. People can see it as they come in. And so man, all right. So I've heard about this net story a while ago. And when I heard it, I said it was BS back then. So now that apparently at the time of when it happened, this particular city had a new police chief, and he didn't want that on his watch. But from what I understand, the sheriff have actually Vidosa. I don't know if y'all know about Vidosa, Georgia. Um, I've gone through there several times driving as a truck driver. It's almost like a shotgun house, straight shot in and out. So, um, but Vidosa, if you go through there, it's kind of a small town. Now they have some of the bigger areas because I know my sister have to go to Vidosa quite a bit if she want to go to certain stores. But from what I seen, ain't nothing. I didn't miss nothing. I didn't miss nothing at all there. So, um, but
They eventually just so they know what you're talking about. They reopened the case for in Georgia for a Kendrick Johnson who was at 17 was found dead head first in the center of a vertically rolled up wrestling mat in a gym, and they said that he died accidentally, but he had blunt force trauma to the head. So the families they're have been requesting that they reopen the case.
and I'm glad they finally got it open. Glad they finally got the case reopened and someone is taking a stand because the evidence did not add up during that time. Um,
Yeah, the family said they filed in 2019. The family refiled a lawsuit over Kendrick's death. That and there's let's see, they were contending that their son's clothing and organs, including his brain, were disposed of to interfere with the investigation of his death. Mind you, this took place in 2013, and they're reopening the case because there was a lot of stuff going on, and it seemed like they were hiding evidence. Um, and even when they did reviewed the body in the case, they noticed that his organs were missing, and they were like, and usually I guess coroners, they take the organs out to do things, just to test them, and then either put it back, and when they're still dealing with them, they put things in them like to fill the space. But in this case, like I think they just lost the organs and kept the filler inside. So they couldn't really do a thorough investigation, especially with the brain, because they noted two uh, investigations found that he had contusions to the brain or to the head. And let's see, Marcus Coleman, an activist and founder of Save Ourselves ATL, has worked with the family to keep the investigation going. And Lowndes County Sheriff Ashley Polk and Kendrick Johnson's father handwrote letters asking for federal documents to be released. Polk said that his agent started trying to acquire the documents in April 2020. So I don't know if they've acquired what they've requested since then, but we'll be keeping an eye on this because you can go online and see the um, the pictures of the scene, the young man wrapped up or in the mat. You could see him out of the mat, and his body was badly bruised. Is um, kind of Emmett Tillish looking. He was swolled up, but to say that, like the initial statement was, oh, he climbed in to get a shoe. Well, you see other mats, they were rolled up on the ground, horizontally, but then this one he was stuffed in, like they just rolled him up and pushed him up along the wall. And they didn't notice until they started smelling something foul. So he was there for the weekend. So it's disturbing.
Yeah, I remember when this case actually came out, which it was not good at all because the evidence just didn't add up. And kind of find out that Sheriff, what is it, Prine, um, Chris Prine, um, had just been elected, so he didn't want it to come out since he just came there. But also, hate to say it, but he's a Republican. It didn't matter because, unfortunately, Kendrick didn't look like him. He felt like it'll go away. And that's why it's very important when you put people in these positions to do your homework on them. Decide if you want to vote for them or not. And in this situation, no. He was endorsed by Governor Kemp. So, and we know Governor Kemp was a big Trump supporter until the end. But once again, I'm glad this
But yeah, I don't know if, let me see, go this way. Yeah, and his shoes were thrown in after him. So they're
yeah,
saying he crawled in for those shoes, but they're at his feet and he's head first in the mat. And then there
yeah,
was just a lot of blood and like just I recommend you just look at the photos online of Kendrick Johnson, and like it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that there was foul play, um, because there's no way he could have done all that.
and looking at the photo of the shoe with the blood and all of this,
Hmm.
he was laying in a pool of blood. There's no way he did this himself.
Yeah,
And it came out that
and then that's his arm all bloody. Like that's a lot of stuff going on for him to just asphyxiate.
and then on top of that, I think it's supposed to have been like a videotape or something that
Yeah, they
came
had
up
a
against him.
video of him in the school, and they had him interacting with some students from, I think they were on some kind of team. I think it was basketball or football team. And then they just happened to have lost the footage of him going to the gym. So there's no images of him going to the gym or coming out.
Well, I want to say they said 8 years ago that the footage had actually disappeared somehow. And
Hmm.
when this case first came out, which I knew it was some BS back then. So I'm glad that officer that helped continue to keep this case open, trying to keep it open, advising the family what to do and how to do it. Um, I'm glad it actually have done that. So um, I don't know why.
Yeah, I think it's on my screen, but because I'm looking on the things and everything's moving.
Yeah, I don't know why. Ever since the ice storm, we've been having issues. I know it's saying I have one bar, but on my screen I'm still moving, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's why we was later than 8:15 getting on because it kind of okay, okay, cool. Um, kind of late getting on, so I don't know. And these things they be tripping. But all right, I know this is the one everybody is waiting for. Uh, I'm gonna let you go and take the lead on this one, and I give my point of view later, because I'm trying to moosh.
All right, so this one is just ridiculous. An Arkansas teacher was apologizes and was placed on leave after making a black 5-year-old child clean feces from the toilet with his bare hands. Ashley Murray, the mother of the child, who attends Crystal Hill Elementary School in Little Rock, Arkansas, is calling for the teacher to be terminated and seeking legal action. Murray told KARK TV they basically made him go in the toilet and get his feces and the dirty tissue out of the toilet, end quote. The incident took place on March 5th. Murray said the teacher explained to the principal that she forced the boy to touch the feces to teach him, quote, how not to stop up the toilet, end quote. As the teacher believed he had used too much toilet paper. Like, even if that was the case, that doesn't justify you having him with his bare hands, especially during, like, just regardless of the time that we're in. That's just nasty. Like, you wouldn't do it. You can't force a child to do it. Like I need to understand what her rationale was.
What's going on, Radio? Hey, Radio, welcome to the show. Yeah, I feel the same way. The teacher had lost their damn mind. That's all you have to say about the risk.
That's there's nothing more. Like right
Okay.
now, I guess they're investigating her, but like I said, she's on leave, and she claims that she's deeply sorry. But there's nothing more to the story. That I mean, this pretty much just happened. What, the beginning of this week? What day are
What
we in? But yeah,
Thursday?
yeah. So I'm just like, that's stupid, and I think she's still trying to, um, like everybody's trying to get an explanation, but she couldn't offer one. The teacher didn't know why, she couldn't explain why she did it, and that's all we got from the story. But I'm like, no, that's unacceptable. So yeah, little Ashton, the little boy, is pretty much traumatized from the situation, and yeah, that's just appalling.
All right, that was a nice little story. I don't see. I guess it's not meant for me to say nothing because I'm hearing a lot of feedback for some reason. But I'm gonna get through this. Um,
Yeah, and your
I'm
face is
still
frozen on my screen, so
I'm still moving because I'm looking at the monitor. But
yeah.
I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna do it a little bit more direct than you. Uh,
Mhm.
so first of all, um, you make this 5-year-old boy, this kid, stick his hand in the toilet after using the restroom. Told the principal you was trying to teach him a lesson. Now, you are the teacher, but how are you going to try to teach him a lesson? Not by sticking his hand in the toilet, forcing
Exactly.
him to do it. Now, the thing is, I've seen a couple of videos. I've seen where the mother and the grandmother and the young boy was interviewed. And let me say this. Uh, Ashley, Mary, if you want to come on here and talk, you're more than welcome to come on here. Just reach out to me and you could come on the show and we can discuss this. Um, Now, the thing is with this, she's a teacher. A 5-year old, only thing they know is making sure they're cleaned enough. And you're talking about you trying to teach him a lesson. Teaching a lesson would have took a certain amount of toilet paper off the roll and said, this is about how much you should use.
Right. And it's all verbal. And if you need to show them how to, fold the paper or whatever and how much to use, fine, do that. But I'm like, how would she know? Is the restroom in the class? And then she just go in after him and he didn't flush or something? Like, I have questions. Like, why were you in there in the first place? Because regardless of the situation, you flushed the toilet. Like, why? Just why? I have questions.
Well, the grandmother, well, no, let me take it back because Miss Ashley did say his godmother found that first, or her godmother, somebody godmother found that first, and they called her and told her. She called the mom and told her, which is the grandmother. And with that being said, the grandmother immediately called the school board, left a message, and also explained to them she's gonna also contact the media, and that's how it came out. Now, see, I found out about this case. I think it was Sunday night on our family call because I have a cousin that lives in Little Rock. But when I tried to pull it up, I couldn't find it. And if I cannot verify it, I can't say anything about it. So today, when I came online, I seen all these stories about it. And old Karla, who is the teacher name, she what's her last name? Karla Lasiter or something. But she been on a paid vacation. That's all it is, a paid
Hmm.
vacation. And apparently they found out what type of business her husband actually owned, a piece of business. And apparently it's going pretty good because they had over, I think they said either 20, 27 employees. So he must be making some good money. And then on top of that, they upset because people are calling. Now, I would not say go call and make threats and all of that. That's not necessary. But you can bark out there. And making threats, you could get yourself in trouble because now the FBI is investigating. So, but calling and boycotting that business is nothing wrong with it. I say all the time, if I don't get treated properly, I won't spend my dollar with you. I don't care who you are.
Hmm.
I will go elsewhere. Now, the problem is when the mother talked to the teacher, because she said she really didn't want to talk to her, but she went ahead and took her call. And when she took her call, the teacher said she messed up. She don't know why she did it. And you don't know why you did it, but you
Yeah,
want to
she just
treat
has amnesia all of a sudden.
exactly. I'm like chaos. He said that's straight up abuse. Yes, it is. And listening to this young man talking about the incident was just heart wrenching to hear this young boy to say she made me get toilet paper with poop on it and get it out the commode. And the person that was giving the interview, then he said she made him pull some of the feces out of the toilet. Now,
That's disgusting.
exactly. See, I couldn't
Like,
be
who thinks of that? That's like sadistic. Like, who does that?
I could not be the one handling that case for the simple fact, if I was, I feel like you make this 5-year-old kid do this. Let me see how you feel about it. And I'm quite sure you won't feel okay with it. Um, Wait a minute. You must be looking at a picture.
No, I'm hearing things. Hold on, in the background.
Oh, I hear
I
you
was trying to
clicking.
figure out where it's coming from.
Oh,
I don't know if you could hear
I can
it.
hear you clicking.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. I'm like clearing out screens.
Mm. No,
All
okay.
right, so I just closed out all my windows.
Oh,
Because
sometimes
sometimes like in the background, like you have like I don't know
ad or
pop
something
up.
will start.
Yeah, and I'm like, where is it?
Yeah. So I'm hoping Miss Ashley Murray, go ahead and do what you have to do legally. And if you're able to reach out to me and would like to come on the show, because this is a problem not just in Little Rock, this is also in other school districts that we don't hear about. And that's
Exactly.
a problem. That's why it's so important as for parents, be involved in your kids. Make sure those teachers know you and make it known that you will show up at any time. Do a pop-up on them because
Hmm.
this right here is unacceptable. This woman need to lose her job, need to lose her license, but she can't teach anymore, and let her go be a server at her husband's restaurant.
And she needs to clean some dookie out with her hands and see
Exactly.
how she feels about that. Like that's so degrading.
So apparently some of the threats that have happened, uh, people called the restaurant, filed, made threats. I'm not saying do that, but it's other ways you can get them. Hit them in the pocket. So they was advised by the FBI to shut down and leave town till this blow over. Until it blow over, this child is gonna have to live with this for the rest of his life.
Hmm.
He's going to have to deal with this. Here it is, a teacher that he trusted and made him do something like that. Now, we're not talking about back in the old days during slavery when Miss Sarah Goode was coming up. We talking about in 2021. This is crazy. It never should happen. And a lot of these teachers, they do stuff like this that goes up under the radar, and nobody never say anything. But I'm glad Ashley Murray said something
I'm glad the
and
kids
did
said
something.
something too, because a lot of
Exactly.
times the kids are too afraid to say something because it's the
Exactly.
teacher.
Someone who they supposed to trust. They supposed to trust the teacher. Never would think the teacher would force him to do anything like that. And then she get a paid vacation while her and her husband are somewhere hiding. They getting paid. And they trying to say, well, it's all about the kids, the ones that work for us. 27 people have lost their job, temporary lost their job. Well, you should lose your job. You should lose your job. You should have enough sense not to do that. Now, Little Rock got some. It's a lot of racist folks there. So, about the only place they not racist is at the dog track. Well, not the dog track, at the little casino in Hot Springs, and
Well, I mean,
uh,
because everybody loves green.
that's the only time they don't be color. They don't color don't make a difference. Um, but still, it's wrong for her to do this. We may laugh and joke about this woman, but this woman needs to be held accountable. And right now, it's looking pretty good for Miss Murray. Um, She need to hit them where it hurt. Hit them in the pocket. Let them know. Let them
You paying for
know.
my child's therapy and
Lifetime therapy.
like for real. Because I still remember some stuff from kindergarten, and I'm a grown woman.
Exactly.
That's not going to go away.
Um, for me, we had certain teachers, they just didn't play because, okay, let me back up. Certain black teachers, they treated us just like we was their kids.
Mm-hmm.
They held us at a higher standard and they didn't play. And don't mess around and let them call your parents up there. Oh, that was finna be a double whammy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's they don't play. But here it is. This teacher don't care. And the bad part about it, she's setting the tone for the years to come
Mm-hmm.
because the teachers can influence the kids, especially at a small age like that. And she's setting the tone for his mindset as he moved forward in school. I'm glad he spoke up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad his mom taught him to speak up.
You know what? After all this, I would be curious to know how many other students she's abused in some kind of way. Because this ain't her first time at the rodeo.
Oh
It's not.
no. Matter
She
of
just got
fact,
found out.
she did an interview back in September, I believe, on the news. I seen this somewhere and I'm trying to find it. She did an interview about um the kids coming back to school. Um Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up. Uh and Tammy Murray, who is the grandmother. Um if any one of you are listening, reach out to me. Reach out to me. Uh, I would love to have y'all on the show to talk about this and find out the game plan. Um, but the grandmother had put out a statement yesterday on Facebook. Said, "PSA: I have been struggling with this since yesterday. As I was on my way to a meeting, I got a phone call. It was my middle daughter. Mother, I have something to tell you, and you're going to get very upset." I said, "Okay, tell me." She said, "Ashton, my grandson, teacher made him put his hand in the commode and clean out his feces and tissue because he stopped up the commode." I said, "What?" I told her, "Let me get off the phone." I had arrived at my destination and started calling the elementary school, Crystal Hill Elementary, and PCSSD school board. When I got out of my meeting, I called 7 on your side and email Fox 16. The superintendent of PCSSD called me something at 6 something yesterday evening. I want this teacher to never ever do this to another black male student again. This child is 5 years old in kindergarten. He is a young black male, and this was done to degrade him, belittle him, and it will cause him to have anxiety. He keeps telling me everyone, he keep telling everyone what happened. I'm not stopping until this is handled properly. We have to protect our black males but decent and in order. This woman had the nerve to say she didn't know why she did it after admitting to it. Lord Jesus, help our teachers and allow only those with no hidden agendas and a love for children to become teachers. I don't know if it's racism or pure dislike for him, but something isn't right. Please keep up with what is going on with your young children in the classroom. Ask them questions daily. Now, that's from the grandmother Facebook page, Tammy Murray. And look, I've always say everybody who is school teachers, everybody not supposed to be one. You have to have a special type of calling to be a school teacher to deal with kids on a regular basis. You just cannot say, "Oh, I'm gonna teach school because I had this degree," and think everything gonna be peaches and cream. You're gonna have issues with kids, and you're gonna have to do it. I have a lot of educators in my family, but one thing about it, they have love for the kids.
Yeah. And lots of patience.
Exactly. I have them from kindergarten. I have a cousin that is at a school in college, and then I have one that is at a college here. So so yeah, that's not good. And I'm trying to see. Oh, she was what's her name? Karla was quoted in September 2020 article by KATV about how student was adjusted to wearing masks. I'm so used to just getting down on the floor, calling groups of kids down and mixing the kids up. She said to the television station, they know there is a pandemic, and we talked about if they don't feel good, it's important to stay home, she said. The article said that teacher like Lester want parents to know they're doing their best to keep their little ones safe. No, she didn't. She didn't do her best. She just messed this young man's mind up for a long time. And I pray and hope that he don't have long-term effect of this.
Facts.
And for the mother and grandmother, please get them counseling. Please get them counseling. You could get it free if you work, have HR, go to them and get the employee assistant program. Ask about that, and you could get free counseling. Uh, but she need to pay for it, and she need to be held accountable. And actually, she need to be in jail. Let her go and clean Big Bertha toilet.
Right? And her drawers.
So yeah, that's pretty jacked up. It's so many stories that is out here, and she think it's okay. Now
Right.
she out chilling with her family, spring break, getting paid.
Right.
And I'll do one better. Call her if you listening. If you want to call in or come on the
You remember
show,
something? Your reasoning for doing this?
yeah, call in. I'll have you on the show, but come with facts. Come with facts. I'm sure I probably get a couple of messages on my, oh, Carla, it's a wonderful teacher. She love her
She's a
kids.
good Christian.
She's a good Southern Christian, which
Second,
most.
not a second
So
Christian.
I said a
A
Southern
Southern.
Baptist.
I was like, a
Baptist.
second? What's that?
Uh, she's a good Christian,
Like
and
born
and I
again? That's what I heard. Second Christian. I was like, what is a second Christian?
I think that was during the time when that feedback came in. That's what I'm gonna say. Uh, no, but if she want to come on the show, she's welcome to come on the show too. She could call, set it up. But one thing about it, just be honest. That's one thing about the show. We're gonna be honest on here. We won't disrespect you that much.
I
uh,
mean, I'm just gonna ask questions.
exactly. We're gonna ask questions and see where your mindset is because for me, that's wrong, dead wrong, and I think you should publicly apologize to this young man.
She needs to do more than that.
And not only that, you need to be held accountable. I want to know what is the school district gonna do, and I feel like people should be calling the school district, finding out, hey, what are y'all gonna do with this teacher? Get her off vacation. Let's
Exactly.
let's hold her accountable. Go ahead and terminate her. And I want to know what her background is like, kind of like what you said, Risky. How many other students have she done this with?
Because you don't just wake up one day, I'm gonna make a kid squish dookie. Like,
Make a mud pie.
right. Like, oh, like, no. Like, of all the punishments in school and that teachers can, dish out, how do you even come up with that? Oh, you're gonna clog the toilets, so dig it out.
Well, first of all, my biggest problem is a 5-year-old child.
Yeah, it's a kid. He's
He's
fresh off
learning.
the
He's just not learning how to wipe himself
right.
at 5 years old.
He's learning everything at 5.
I hate, yeah, well, sometimes
Listen, I'd probably be in jail. I don't know if that was my
that's a
kid.
lot. What I've been hearing lately is a lot of people been saying that they'll be in jail. They need bail money.
Especially nowadays, because you can't just walk up on teachers nowadays. I know my mama walked up on a teacher one day.
For some reason, I can
Called her
actually
in the
see that.
parking lot. But I tell you what, we
She
didn't
never
have no
did it
problems
again.
after that. I'm just saying.
I can actually see Mama doing that. I
I
can
mean, she didn't
actually
put
see that.
hands on her, but she made it clear, just cease and desist. But in
I'm
hood terms.
I'm quite sure it went something like this. I'm gonna see if I can do the clean version. Have you lost your blankety blank mind?
Yeah.
Oh, not like that.
Listen, who knows with her? She probably made up some words. Started rhyming all the curse words with some stuff.
Oh, she started
Uh,
rapping to the woman.
Listen, I don't know how you add duck to a lot of things, but I'm sure duck was part of one of them curse words.
Hey,
Hmm.
we gotta protect our kids. We have to.
Hmm.
This is something serious, and especially during a time after 45, it's even worse because he gave people courage to do whatever they want to and feel like they won't be held accountable for it. Unfortunately, but we're in a new time now. This is not gonna go away. Yeah, she gone on vacation, a paid vacation.
Why they investigate?
But what happened when she came back? How long would this vacation last? Because
Exactly.
why should the taxpayer be giving her a paid vacation?
Because
They
I
should.
mean, she didn't deny that she did it. The kid is clearly upset and told him what happened, and she validated it. And she apologized to it. She admitted guilt. What more do they need to do? Like
Exactly.
they need a panel. Well, making kids squish dookie ain't in the guidelines of abuse. like, like you know what I mean? Like you can no longer paddle a kid. You can't put them in corners. You know, you can't keep them from eating lunch. You can't do all this stuff. But now they got to add, do not let kids squish dookie as a punishment. Like, is this where we've come in life? Like, this is it.
I'm gonna just say, you hear that feedback? It sound like I'm in the clouds or something. I don't know. Uh, Radio said he would have just called the janitor.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. Janitors are there like all freaking day.
Well, it sound like to me, and I may be wrong because I haven't heard it in the story, but it sound like to me what he did was use the restroom like he should have, and he did put everything in a proper place. Now, if she have a restroom inside of the room, which it sound like she do, sound like to me it may be a rule where before, if you go in there, because they have to give her a sign of what they have to do. I think like this. I don't know if y'all can
Like
see it.
gang signs?
No, like a cross finger. Mean you have
Okay.
to go to the restroom and you gotta kind of like with your finger crossed, meaning that you have to go to the restroom. And I think it's mean that you go into the restroom and you have to do number two or something. I don't know. But either way, she knew what the sign was, and maybe she have a rule: do not flush the toilet if you have to do number two, and call her in there. Because I'm thinking she went in there and seen how much paper was in there, and then she just
Nut it out?
want him to clean it out. At that point, you should have called the janitor.
Exactly.
But you should never have a child to do that. And the mother made a good point. Here it is, you having a 5-year-old stick his hand in the toilet, no gloves on,
Exactly. We're in a pandemic.
in the middle of a pandemic where anything can be in that toilet.
Right. And then he could have a scratch on his finger. Now he's losing fingers.
And then on top of that, I don't know if he had on a long shirt or a short sleeve shirt. If he had on a long shirt, some probably got on that. And she had like everything is okay.
Like that was normal. Yeah.
She didn't have a
Take out your dookie and tissue.
she lucky she got Miss Murray. She lucky she got Miss Murray because Miss Murray is doing it the right way.
Hmm.
But if
I
she
mean,
would
I would try.
but if she would have got Shaniqua, it would have been a different story. Would have been a different headline.
Little Taniqua would have been up in that school. I wouldn't even
I
know
know
because
you
that would
ain't up
be
here
in the
tripping.
car. No, that would be in the car. I take off all what?
I know you not tripping. You gonna make my child do this, and
You done made me take off my wig.
got me all up in here like that. See, Carla, you lucky you got the right one, but it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you a lot, which it should.
And the school.
And but as for your husband business, hey, unfortunately, y'all are married. They hitting you in the pockets where it affect both of you. I don't agree with calling and making threats. I don't agree with that. But unfortunately, you can't control how people call in. Um, Radio asks how what's the let me
I
see.
don't know. Like she doesn't look too old, but she got an old face. She look young, but she old.
Let me tell you,
Like
and I guess you.
like one of them Quaker women from back in the day.
I'm looking at one picture where she kind of working out. Um, I'm trying to see
Let me see if they
if
have
I
her
had
age.
if I had a guest radio.
I mean, because
Unfortunately,
remember we gotta decrease it because
I know.
it's different. But she
I,
could be in her late 20s,
but looking like she in her early 50s.
40s, depending on the picture you look at.
Well, I'm looking at the
Well,
one.
actually, you know what? I take that back. No, she's up there because I'm looking at her throat because the neck never lies. So she is she's a 40-year-old woman because this picture she's a 40-year-old woman. Look at that,
And
that neck. That's an old neck.
let's see the one below, but the one below that is her and I guess a kid doing a puzzle. She look older on that one.
See, they don't have her. Oh wait, let me see if I found her age.
You know what? I just
They say in her late 30s.
the devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. I'm just saying.
I
Mm-mm.
mean, but her throat, that's a 40-year-old neck.
I,
I'm just saying. And then somewhere else they talking about she's 52. So people are just speculating on her age. But let me see this one. Let me see this. I don't know what news source this is. This is.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, I see what they say in their late 30s.
Yeah, but this other one says 52.
It's
It's like globeintel.com.
they got to stop drinking that water in Little Rock.
Listen, I don't. Yeah, maybe it's the air. I don't know. 'Cause
I have
I don't
no
know.
idea.
But
Because she don't look.
she's in her 40s at least. I'll give her that.
I'm trying to see. Now I'm curious since Radio brought
I
that
know.
up.
I'm just scrolling through all these things because I'm like, this one. Uh,
I'm trying to see. Carla, if you listen, call in and let us know how old you are. Oh, they say she
did
was
you-
born in 1970, which means she's 51.
okay. Look at that.
Now I don't
The,
allegedly.
yeah, but the neck, you can't hide that. And the hands and the knees. That's how you can tell the age. They can be all put together and do Pilates, but there's certain body parts that rat you out. That's why Madonna wears gloves. I'm just saying.
Nah, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna believe that age because
Yeah, they're all over the place online. Like I can't find anything.
yeah.
And then this one, newbird.com says she's 51. Um, I've seen that a couple of places, so I'm good with that. I mean, I gave her at least 40, 40
What
something.
radio talking about? I guess stupidity has no age limit.
I mean, clearly. I mean, we had a Cheeto. I mean,
See, that's why I cannot read. I cannot read his comments.
it's
Uh,
true though, radio. It's true.
I
Like the
cannot read
hands
his comments until I
start
read
looking like
his thing.
Skeletor. And there's some about the neck. You can always tell the age, no matter how thin you are and how fit. It's gonna tell the truth.
I'm trying to figure out
I'm sure as the story comes out more, like as it comes out, they'll let us know.
when she mess around and get arrested. When she get arrested, we'll know for sure. Cause I'm curious. I'm I want to know exactly how old she is.
I should
That's
follow her on Twitter. How old are you, woman?
I want to
The
know.
public wants to know.
So is she on Twitter?
Um, I think this is where I see this from. Hold on.
See, I haven't been.
Well, somebody is posting a picture of her on Twitter. I don't know if she's on Twitter. She has a Facebook.
See, now you're gonna make me go to her Facebook.
Yeah, I know. This is what I started doing.
You're gonna make me go to
Listen,
her.
don't do anything ever in life because we will stalk you. All your pages. We don't care.
You're gonna make me
We
go
will
to her
stalk you.
Facebook and see what the truth is. Cause Carla, I'm about to look at your Facebook, so don't block it. Uh oh shoot, I don't
I
see
don't
it.
see her.
I don't see it. I'm too late.
I know.
Carla,
Dang it.
why you gotta block your Facebook, yeah?
I know. She got out.
Man, yeah, that's kind of messed up. But hey, age do not have. Oh boy, see,
But
that's what I'm talking about. I cannot read. Talking about Mitch McConnell definitely tells a story. It tells a lot, and then the way he sound be like, "Uh, uh, hey Trump, I know you're not a good guy, but I'm gonna keep you in. I'm not gonna impeach you." Yeah, Yeah, that's
Yeah, I can't find her. But
I
everybody's talking about her. She's even on Smash the Topic.
no Smash be on top of it.
Listen, Smash probably got a team going to Arkansas right now.
You know what? Carla might be here or in Tennessee.
And she
I'm
ain't down here.
She might be. She
Mm.
probably thought it was a good idea to come here. Um, I'm just curious, how old is this woman? I don't like
I'm
to.
going to go with the most consistent 51.
I
I'm going
figured.
with that.
I figured 52, but okay. Uh, but allegedly 51, 52. Um, yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
funny as I zoomed in on that face, I was like, oh, wait a minute, never mind. From a distance, she looked young.
a
So I'll give her that.
complete distance. Because I was like, when I seen her, I was like, oh,
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, wait, let me zoom in.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out.
I don't think we're going to find it because until she's arrested or something else happens.
Now, have you been hearing about uh the shooting that been happening at these schools? Because I just clicked on where it said Arkansas on the article, and a student shot at Pine Bluff, Arkansas Middle School as full time classes resume. Have you heard anything about that?
Mhm.
And um, it been a lot of shooting up in Pine Bluff. I think uh, one of the it was a shooting last week, and then after that shooting, because the school where it was located, after the shooting, it came back that it was on lockdown again for either another shooting or a hit that was put on a student. But the thing is, because that school is majority black,
Mhm.
they don't have they don't really pay attention to it. They just let it roam freely. Cause normally when it's a school lockdown, a shooting at a school, they lock it down, they put metal detectors out there and all of that. And apparently that's not the case with them. So people, please pay attention to what's going on in your kids' life. And for the kids that may be listening, if you have beef with somebody, gunfire is not the answer,
Yeah. I mean,
because
and that's a
what's
coward's way. But
exactly
like, handle your problems like adults that you're trying to portray. Talk it out, fight it out, and then keep it moving. Bye.
and not just school age kids, but anybody.
Right.
Do like we used to do back in the 80s. Uh we might roll around in circle for a long time. Knock the stick off, knock the stick off. You bad, knock the stick off. And it take 15, 20 minutes for somebody to finally knock it off. And 9 times out of 10, it wasn't the two that was into it. It's somebody in the crowd that came up and knocked it off.
Now, see, we didn't do any sticks, but maybe that's why all the dudes did that. Like they would just bump each other's shoulders and
Yeah,
just
trying.
go in a circle. Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And then they like maybe a punch is thrown, but hours later, guess what? They're sitting together in the lunch line. They squashed. It's no grudges. Like we didn't do all that stuff.
That's how people be.
Yeah, people are just lazy and they're just like, they think a gun or a knife is going to solve all their problems. It's like, now you got a case. And now you're looking like a punk because you couldn't handle this with your hands.
And if I'm
And was
not
it that
mistaken,
bad that you had to take them out, like, and kill somebody? Like, please. I just never understood that.
and I believe in one of those incidents, it was actually a female, the shooter. Young people, If I don't tell you anything else, it's not worth it. Because what's going to happen, you shoot someone, if they die, get injured, guess what? Your life is gone too, because you're eventually going to get caught. It's not worth it. Now, here it is, but the person that you shot, their life is gone. Your life is gone because once you get caught, you going to jail forever.
Hmm.
It's
And
not.
over what?
What was the what was the
Right. Oh,
justification
she
of it?
stole, he or she stole my love interest. Oh, or you stole something, or you like, come
You
on now, is
stepped
it
on my
really that?
shoes.
Right. Oh,
You
she
looked
called
at
me
me wrong.
this and that.
You looked at me wrong.
Right. Like
It's
that's
not
stupid.
worth it. It's not
Like,
worth it.
like,
So
all y'all just sit down and shut up and stop and leave each other alone. Like,
that's what I say.
I don't know.
Um, my bad. My bad.
I was about to say.
That's inside jokes. Y'all don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, but either way, if you have issue with anybody, I don't care who you are. Work it out. Nothing is worth to throw your life away.
And if you have to get a mediator, and there's always a go-between friend. Go-between.
Exactly.
Don't end somebody's life over some stupid.
And
Like,
not
it is
only
not that serious to take somebody's life.
and not only that, but what radio said earlier when I went to school, there was teacher who physically assault student and it was considered normal. That was those teachers that cared about those students because they like, look, you're not finna go out in these streets and get killed. I know for me, I made a mistake one time and I never did it again. Um, I got into a fight at school, guy I played football with, and now that I think about it, it wasn't worth it, and it wasn't worth the whooping I got either. So, um,
Yeah, I only got in one fight. I think I was like in third grade, and
nah,
we had little belts, and we were just whipping each other.
mm,
And then, like a few hours later, we ended up playing kickball in the streets.
nah,
Couldn't tell you what the problem was. I have no idea.
I
But
got a,
we
I
whipped each
got a,
other and kept it moving.
I got a whooping because got into this fight at school, got suspended, had to call my mama and tell her. And this principal I really didn't like because I felt like he was racist. Um, and he asking me question. I'm like, look, whatever. So he gonna ask the question, what would you do next time something like this happened? And I said, I'll take it to the street. And that was all I remember until about 10 minutes later. My mama looked at me and she, oh no. He said, excuse me, you need to leave out. Told him he needed to leave out and I got my butt whooped. I was like, never again. So yeah, that wasn't good. And but I learned then it wasn't worth it because she didn't play. I didn't want no more whooping. So, but so Miss Risky, uh, tell the people where they can find you. How's your writing coming along? First of all,
It's not. Well, I'm still writing, but I haven't written anything with my novels. I'm focusing on this next project for our show.
okay,
So there's still writing involved.
okay,
And then my other project, that'll probably be finished officially in April. And then maybe hopefully in the summer I'll have something good, some good news.
well,
So
I still need to do what I said I was gonna do for you and get it for you, and uh, so I have to get it to you. Uh, but definitely keep working. You know, I tell you all the time, I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders because I know you have a bunch of them in your corner, and I'm always support you because
Thank you.
you really support me. See, Miss Risky is only on here on Thursdays, but this last couple of months we have became very close because she been through by my side through a lot, and I appreciate that because she showed how a true friend would do. I have many of friends, but Miss Risky really been there, so I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And where can the people find you at besides your writing?
Mostly on Instagram, RSKEE, on Facebook, on Twitter, all the forums. Riskybooks.com, where my books are on, and they're also sold on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So that's it.
Um, as for that, you can always, if need to be, you can send me a text at the number up at the top. Um, if you call, I may or may not answer. I have so much going on right now. I may or may not answer. So shoot me a text if you're on social media. You can send me a message on Messenger, Instagram. I hate to say send me a message, but because I get a lot of weird message on Instagram. I be in all
I
type
do
of group
too.
texts. I just delete them. I delete. I see group texts. I delete. Um, but I'm very flexible. I'm not spending that much time on Facebook right now because some of the things I'm still grieving, and a good friend of mine's I seen today where she lost her father, and that just kind of messed me up. Um, so the thing is, when I see stuff like that, it just open up new wounds. So I don't come on Facebook that much. But if you send me a DM, I will a messenger. I will respond, or on Instagram, I will respond. I don't spend much time on social media right now. So other than that, um, I'm still trying to talk Miss Riskin to coming on another day, getting her own show. But
That's a lot of work, dude. Just coming on Thursdays is like, ah.
I appreciate it though. But y'all can always go to YouTube. Oh, and another thing, you can always leave messages on the YouTube videos. I do respond back, good or bad. I will respond back. Negative. Uh, thank you for watching. Uh, but other than that, I appreciate y'all until Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time. I will be back. I'm working it out because I'm trying to make sure I get on at my regular time. Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time. If the good Lord say the same. Miss Risky will be back next Thursday. Until then, love each and every one of you. Peace.